Hey guys, welcome back to another Swords and Magic and Stuff devlog. This month I spent a lot of time working on the Kickstarter stuff, and I think it's really paid off. We blew through 3 really exciting stretch goals, including a new playable dragon race, which is a subspecies of dragons in the game, a new faction of archaeologists who collect artifacts, and finally a new bug-catching activity which unleashes a ton of cute little bugs into Tirowin for the player to collect and trade for rare items. And now that we're into the last 24 hours of this campaign at the time of the recording, we're pushing for one final stretch goal, a Nintendo Switch release, which is scheduled for shortly after the final full launch of the game on Steam. Moz and I are really excited about getting the game on the Switch, and we're confident that with the extra funding we'll have no problem hiring on help to port the game if we can't handle it ourselves. If you are interested in backing the game still, this is your last chance to get your hands on the exclusive Kickstarter rewards, including a unique in-game house blueprint, an adventurer's outfit, an in-game title, and the benefactor plaque to hang on your wall. And of course your name in the credits of the game to show that you helped bring it to life. The last couple of weeks, Moz and I have been hard at work on the mount system. And now that it's in and working, I'm able to finally bring in all of our animal models and make mounts from them, which has been a whole lot of fun seeing them come to life. I started by rebuilding our wolf model from scratch. I decided that the old wolf needed some major love after all the new animals I've made. And so does this poor sheep, but I haven't got that far yet. The new wolf mount has fur cards now, and much cleaner animations, which really gives it a unique style. The more robust animation set we're using gives us a lot more flexibility with our animation blueprint as well, meaning that we can now add in some slight leans to the animation to really add that extra juiciness to the mount system. I really love the new wolf, and I'm really excited that it's back in the game. We also started working on a better system for the eyes for all the animals. We want all animals to be able to blink, and in order to do that, we decided that an eye card that just floats over the character's head is the best solution. It means we can just choose a set of eyes from an atlas and cycle through all the different states. Unfortunately, we run into some headaches with this due to the varied mount base colors and eyebrows and other details in the eyes, so we had to figure out a solution for this that doesn't involve yet another atlas for eyebrows. We've got a few ideas though, and we'll try them out soon. Next up, I added another mount, which turned out to be a very mixed bag. I, for one, love it, and I'm so excited about how it turned out, but you'll be lucky to even see this one because Arrow, our editor, truly hates it and may not include any footage of it in the video. It's a spider, and we decided that along with insane speed values, this mount will also get a crazy jump height to really make it a versatile mount. Of course, we did consider letting it scale walls, but that's a tall order, and right now we have a lot of other more important things to tackle. But perhaps after early access we might see some more unique mount features like this. We also decided early on that mounts will have 0 effect on combat. Taking damage on a mount will have a chance to kick you off, with a higher chance at lower health. When kicked off your mount, the mount may run off in a random direction, making it even more dangerous to try to escape peril on your steed. Mounts will also have custom fall damage, so that spider mount will take a lot less fall damage than the wolf, which would also take a lot less fall damage than the next mount on the list, a tortoise. Of course, the tortoise is slower and has no jump ability at all. This makes it a nearly useless mount, other than it just being slightly faster than your normal run speed. But we're really considering finding a way to add storage capabilities onto your mounts, and this of course would make the tortoise way more useful. Lastly, we have a new Stag Mount. I'm thinking this one's going to be pretty majestic. Of course, we're planning on a lot of other traditional mounts too, like horses, llamas, and other basic rideable mounts. And I plan on having at least 8 different mounts you can discover and obtain for early access, and probably closer to 20 or 30 for the full release, along with more unique variations and maybe even armor for mounts just for visual effect. Mounts will all have different base movement speeds, but they can be increased. Around Tirowin you'll discover different recipes for various pet foods. Each pet food can be fed to each mount one time, and each time they'll increase your mount speed by 1%. We'll probably have somewhere around 20 different foods you can find, meaning if you dedicate some time to collecting them all, your favorite mount could have a bonus 20% move speed. We really like this idea because it gives you a reason to ride your favorite mount around Tirowin to discover the recipes, and also gives you a reason to have a favorite mount in the first place. Not to mention that it'll give you a leg up on mount races. And yeah, we're definitely planning to have a dedicated spot or two for mount racing. Possibly with AI, but definitely official races with other players in your world. Moz and I have been doing a lot of work on level streaming as well. We know that with a large open world like this and multiple players running around, we're going to run into a lot of performance issues pretty fast if we don't do some sort of optimization. So we started separating the world into layers as well as sublevels. These sublevels allow us to load and unload parts of the world when you enter and exit them. So now we can hide caves, towns, and even entire zones when players aren't in them. That means much faster load times when you first join a world, as well as better performance in general. I spent quite a bit of time working on a big cave system for the starter island to test this level streaming out, and so far it's working pretty well. We've also been struggling with a solution for our water. We weren't sure how to handle the ocean, since it technically covers the entire world map. This means that if we put a cave in the middle of the mainland somewhere, that it'll be underwater as it goes too deep, and that kind of puts a damper on our level building. We found a solution where we split the ocean up into chunks and duplicate them around, but we quickly realized that this probably wasn't the best way to handle it. Not only is it tedious, but it's also kind of performance heavy. So now we're trying something new. This time we're using post-processing volumes with higher priorities for areas where we want to cut water out. This is a pretty obvious solution that we just didn't think about, but that's kind of the thing about game dev. Sometimes there are many options available, and the simplest one is the last one you consider. So starting here soon, we're going to be switching to a new development method. I recently watched the latest devlog by Raymond Cripps about his game Project Feline. He talked about adding enemies into his game through a development sprint he did recently, and it got me thinking about how we could possibly utilize development sprints for Swords and Magic. So I talked to Maz about this, and we both decided we want to try it out. We're planning on doing a 2-week sprint soon, to basically do exactly what Raymond Cripps did, and add the enemy AI back into the game. We had this working in the initial multiplayer prototype build, but we had to remove AI when we optimized all of our character classes. So in this next 2 weeks, Maz and I will have different deadlines that we're going to do our best to hit, and at the end of the sprint we're hoping to have a test event for all of our testers to finally dive into. During this test event, testers will have full reign over Azure Island, and be able to fight various groups of enemies and collect loot. I'll be finishing up the island entirely, and probably adding in more monster types and even other weapons. Of course, the goals for the sprint could change, and we're not sure exactly what to expect on the other end of this, but we're excited to add a bit more structure to our development process and see what happens. We like watching and learning from other devs, and I really hope we can benefit from this. So that's about it for this devlog. Don't forget to back the Kickstarter before it's too late. It ends on the 16th of April at 6 AM PST. If you want to learn more about the game or join the amazing Kindred Games community, where we do monthly community events like game jams, art contests, and even more, then head over to our Discord and make some new friends. And if you haven't already, be sure to sign up for the Kindred Games newsletter so you don't miss these awesome events. Links for this stuff can be found in the video description as always. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got some exciting news for the next devlog, so don't miss it. Thanks for watching, bye.